The autumn sun filtered through the towering windows of the Willow Creek Country Club, casting long shadows across the polished marble floors that gleamed like frozen rivers under the weight of old money and whispered secrets. I stood there, in my faded jeans and worn sneakers, feeling the familiar sting of eyes on me, judgmental, dissecting, dismissing. My sister, Sophia, flawless in her tailored silk dress that screamed boardroom power and inherited privilege, had just waved over the security guard with a flick of her manicured hand. "Please," she said, her voice laced with that faux politeness that hit a razor edge. "Escort this individual out. She's not supposed to be here. Not supposed to be here." In the place I'd built my quiet empire around. But she didn't know that yet. None of them did. It started with a text that morning, buzzing on my kitchen counter as I poured black coffee into a chipped mug in my one-bedroom walk-up in Brooklyn. Family brunch at Willow Creek. 11 a.m. sharp. Dress appropriately. No, happy birthday, Elena. No warmth. Just Sophia's clipped efficiency. Like I was an agenda item to check off. Today marked my 30th. But celebrations in our family were never about joy, they were performances, scripted to showcase Sophia's ascent while underscoring my supposed failures. I could have ignored it, stayed in my cozy chaos of code and late-night algorithms. But some twisted hope pulled me out the door. Hope that maybe, just once, we'd share a meal without the undercurrent of disdain. Willow Creek sprawled across 50 acres of New Jersey's elite suburbs, a fortress of white pillars, emerald fairways, and exclusive whispers where deals were sealed over single malts and social ladders climbed with every handshake. Sophia waited at the valet stand, her auburn hair pinned in a chignon that cost more than my monthly rent, flanked by our mother, Victoria, in her signature pearl necklace and cashmere cardigan, armor for the battlefield of high society. "There you are," Sophia said, her smile tight as a drawn bowstring. "We nearly started without you, though we hung heavy, a reminder that I was always the outsider in my own bloodline." "Sorry. Traffic from the city," I murmured, keeping my tone neutral. The city, Brooklyn, with its gritty streets and vibrant anonymity, was my sanctuary. But to them, it was a synonym for struggle. Victoria's nose wrinkled slightly. "Still in that little place? You know, dear, at your age," she trailed off. But the implications sliced deep. Failure to launch. Failure to conform. Failure to be like Sophia. We moved inside, my sneakers silent on the plush carpets leading to the dining room, where chandeliers dripped crystal like frozen tears above tables set with linen finer than silk. The hostess recognized Sophia immediately. "Right this way, Ms. Harrington," and led us to a window table overlooking the golf course, where men in polos discussed mergers and women in tennis skirts plotted galas. I slid into my seat, aware of how my casual attire clashed with the room's polished veneer. Victoria unfolded her napkin with deliberate grace. "Sophia has news," she announced, eyes sparkling with pride that never quite reached me. Sophia beamed, holding up her left hand where a diamond the size of a small planet caught the light. "Marcus proposed last night, at the yacht club, under the stars." "Congratulations," I said. And I meant it. Sophia had always chased the spotlight, and Marcus, heir to a pharmaceutical empire, fit her script perfectly. But the warmth curdled quickly. "The engagement party's here next month," Sophia continued, gesturing at the elegant space. "Intimate. Exclusive. Willow Creek standards are impeccable, members only. The cream of society." Victoria nodded. "Your father's connections got us in years ago. But Sophia's rise in corporate law keeps us relevant." There it was. The subtle dig, Dad's legacy propped them up. While what did I contribute? Nothing. In their eyes. The menus arrived. A shield from the brewing tension. Sophia ordered the seared scallops. Victoria the filet mignon. And I chose a simple Cobb salad, unassuming. Like me. As we waited, the conversation veered into party details, guest lists curated like art collections, floral arrangements from imported orchids, a string quartet for ambience. We'll need to be selective, Victoria said, her gaze flicking to me. Can't have just anyone. Sophia leaned in, her voice dropping to that conspiratorial whisper. Exactly. Marcus's partners from the firm. Board members. Influencers. We have to project success. I sipped my water, the ice clinking like distant warnings. Where do I fit in? I asked quietly. Sophia's pause was telling. A crack in her facade. Elena. About that. Space is limited. And, well, she glanced at my outfit, her eyes narrowing. You understand, right? This is crucial for Marcus's career. Impressions matter. Victoria chimed in. Darling, look at yourself. Jeans at Willow Creek? It's unbecoming. Your father would turn in his grave. Dad, gone 4 years now from a sudden heart attack, was their favorite weapon his memory wielded to guilt me into submission. The words landed like quiet bombs, detonating old wounds. I'd grown up in the shadow of their expectations, Sophia the golden child. Valedictorian. Law school star, me. The quiet one who preferred books and binary code over debutante balls. After Dad died, leaving me a small inheritance, I'd parlayed into a tech startup specializing in AI-driven financial analytics. They dismissed my ambitions as hobbies. My success was invisible because it didn't glitter in their world. I'm happy with my life, I said, voice steady despite the ache. Sophia scoffed lightly. Happy in that shoebox apartment? Coding away at some startup no one's heard of? Elena, you're 30. When will you aim higher? The food arrived, but appetite fled. They picked at their plates while dissecting my choices, the unreliable old Honda I drove for its dependability, the isolated life in Brooklyn away from their manicured suburbs, the lack of a suitable partner. Each comment layered on the betrayal, family should be a haven. But mine was a courtroom where I was perpetually on trial. We just want what's best, Victoria insisted. But her best meant erasure of who I was. As dessert menus circulated, they chose tiramisu. I passed. Sophia pulled out her tablet, showing seating charts. Marcus's parents at the head. Aunts and uncles nearby. Oh, and Elena. Perhaps a back table? If we can squeeze you in. Squeeze me in. Like an afterthought. The tension coiled tighter. A spring compressed to its limit. So, I'm not really welcome, I stated flatly. Sophia's eyes flashed. Don't twist it. This party's about connections. Not distractions. Distractions. Me. Their blood. Reduced to a liability. Victoria nodded. Appearances. Elena. You've never grasped that. If you'd just try better clothes. A real job. Mingle in our circles. Their words echoed years of slights, skipped birthdays, mocked achievements, conditional love that demanded I shrink to fit their mold. We rose to leave. The bill settled on the family account, irony they didn't yet taste. In the foyer, Sophia spotted a colleague and darted off, leaving Victoria and me by the ornate fountain. Elena, she said softly, almost pleading. We're protecting Sophia's future. Marcus's family is old money, real influence. You could ruin it. Ruin it. By existing. When Sophia returned, buzzing about another VIP confirmation, the facade cracked wide. Wait, she said, eyeing me anew. You can't exit through the main doors like that. Use the side entrance, the staff one. People might assume. Assume what? I asked. Voice low but firm. That we're slumming it, Victoria supplied coldly. It's embarrassing. The crowd thickened, members lingering. Sensing drama. Sophia, cornered by her own snobbery, turned to the security guard. Sir, please remove her. She's disrupting and doesn't belong. The guard hesitated. But Sophia pressed, I'm a member. Dear job. Whispers rippled through the foyer. Phones discreetly recording. I stood still. The weight of years of silence pressing down, silence I'd chosen to test their love. To see if they'd value me without the trappings. Then came Edward Klein, the club's general manager. A silver-haired veteran who'd navigated egos for decades. Issue, he inquired smoothly. Sophia launched in, this woman, my sister. Unfortunately, is underdressed and causing issues. Escort her out. Edward's eyes met mine. Recognition dawning. He'd known for years. Part of the discretion I demanded. MS. Harrington, he addressed Sophia formally. Are you requesting we remove MS? Elena Harrington. Yes, she snapped. Edward paused. Then, shall we terminate your access first? The air froze. What? Sophia stammered. Edward explained methodically. The primary membership transferred upon your father's passing 5 years ago. To Elena. Per his will. She's covered all dues. Charges everything for you both since. Victoria blanched. Impossible. We've paid. No, Edward corrected. Elena has. And more. Harrington Tech Ventures acquired Willow Creek 2 years ago. Elena owns it all, buildings, grounds, operations. The revelation hung like smoke, choking the room. Sophia's face crumpled, tears welling. Elena. How? Why hide it? You never asked, I whispered. The damning emotions finally spilling. You saw genes and assumed poverty. A startup and assumed failure. I built my company from Dad's seed money, AI analytics for Fortune 500s. Worth millions now. The Brooklyn apartment? It's my choice, simple. Real. The Honda? Practical. But you betrayed me with every judgment. Every exclusion. I stayed silent to see if your love was real. Not tied to status. It wasn't. The crowd murmured. The social web they'd prized now ensnaring them in gossip. Sophia's sobs echoed. We're sorry. The party'll come? Head table. But the price of their betrayal loomed, trust shattered. Wounds too deep for quick mends. Keep your memberships, I said wearily. But know they're on my terms now. No authority. No illusions. Edward nodded. Noted. I walked out the main doors. The sun warm on my face, leaving them in the ruins of their assumptions. Calls flooded my phone, apologies. Please, but I drove on. The silence in my car a bomb. Revenge wasn't the club or the wealth, it was reclaiming my worth. Paying the cost of severed ties for the freedom of authenticity. Dad's note in his will echoed, for Elena. Who forges her path in quiet strength. They'd learned to walk on ground I'd laid. Haunted by what they'd lost, not the club, but a sister.